Hi everyone, it's Dominique with This Girl's Worth, and we're going to be talking about something very important. What are the two things that the narcissist requires from you in order to be in a relationship with you? Basically, the narcissist is looking for these two things when it's selecting their victims. I didn't mean to say it's, I meant him or her, they are, but somehow it came out. Why do we engage in these behaviors subconsciously with the narcissist? Well, that's an entirely different video in itself, but I felt like it was really important to talk about these two things because many people are trying to reflect back on how did I get caught up with a person like this, and wouldn't we all like to know how to be a narcissist repellent? Well, this video is going to tell you the two things that you made the mistake of doing that kept you engaged in a narcissistic relationship. So I won't keep you too long. Let me get right into it. The very first thing that kept you in a narcissistic relationship is your lack of boundaries. Now, whether or not you had a healthy sense of boundaries before you were in a relationship or not, that doesn't matter. Because sometimes we can psychoanalyze and we're trying to figure out things. The point is that once you got into a relationship or once you got to know this narcissist or once you met them, you demonstrated that you had a clear lack of boundaries. The narcissist pushed you or tested you in some type of way. They did something that was disrespectful towards you and you didn't correct them, you didn't walk away, you didn't point it out, maybe you pointed it out, but they had no consequences whatsoever. So you showed the narcissist that it was okay to walk over you. The narcissist always likes to dip their toe in the water first before they jump right in. They want to know what they're getting themselves into. If they know someone's going to be very strong-minded, have strong boundaries, they're going to face consequences, they're not going to get over on this person, they're not going to try to be in a relationship with that person. That person's too difficult. The narcissist is always looking for someone who it's easy to be in a narcissistic relationship with. So when you don't demonstrate clear boundaries or you don't have clear enforcements for your boundaries, the narcissist benefits from that. So there's two things that can happen. Either you don't express boundaries at all, which means that you didn't set any expectations in the relationship of what you expected from your partner. That's one way that you don't demonstrate boundaries in the beginning of the relationship. The other way is that when you do express your boundaries, you don't uphold them, which means that if you don't see them or your boundaries are stepped over or disrespected, there are no consequences. You may yell, you may fuss, but if you still stay in the relationship, you're not setting a boundary. If you don't walk away or you don't make that person prove that they have changed or they're working on changing, you're still not enforcing your boundaries. So when you don't enforce boundaries, when you don't set boundaries or clear expectations straight from the beginning, if you give the narcissist an opportunity to step over you, to break those boundaries, to disrespect you, and they don't face any repercussions, that is narcissist bait, okay? The narcissist is going to love you because it's easy to be a narcissist with you. You don't accept much, you don't ask for much. You're the perfect person to be a narcissist towards, okay? That's the first mistake we make. I think if I could give any advice on that, set your boundaries, set expectations, don't be afraid to uphold them at all in any relationship, because the right relationship is going to be able to meet you where you are. The wrong relationship is going to tell you that your boundaries are wrong. Anytime someone tells you your boundaries are wrong, that person is wrong and that person should not be in your life. The second thing that makes us bait to the narcissist that we're not aware of that helps us stay in narcissistic relationships is our silence. We're complicit by our silence. What do I mean our silence? I don't mean that you just sit there and you take all the abuse and all the dysfunction. I mean that you don't talk to anybody about what you're experiencing. You don't talk to family, you don't talk to friends, you don't talk to anyone to get another perspective on your relationship. I don't mean when things get really, really bad, you may talk about it every once in a while. And I certainly don't mean talking to the narcissist family. I'm going to do a video on that. I made that mistake of talking to the narcissist mom as a confidant in the relationship. And all she did really was she was just team her son. And that was the wrong mistake. A lot of people make that mistake because the narcissist isolates you. You don't have a community, so you talk to their family. Don't do that, okay? Like I said, I'll do a separate video on that. But you don't talk to anybody. So you don't have anybody who's saying, this is crazy. This makes no sense. Because we don't talk to people in the relationship, what ends up happening is that when the relationship is over with the narcissist, we want to be open and honest about the things we went through, right? We didn't talk about it in the relationship because we don't want to be judged as being weak or stupid. So now we're out of the relationship and we want to talk about what happened, and nobody's believing us or nobody's taking it seriously that we were actually abused and mistreated in that relationship. And the narcissist looks like the good guy, or it looks like we're crazy and we're bringing things up for no reason, or we're just being petty because the relationship's now over with. So we put ourselves in a really bad position by not speaking up or not having a community around us when we're dealing with narcissists. Do not experience narcissistic abuse in a vacuum. Start talking to people. The last thing you want to do is narcissists, for some reason, the narcissist structure it this way where your family will know nothing that's going on, but their family will know all the abuse that's going on in the relationship. They'll know the dysfunction, but at the end of the day, they will take up for their narcissist. They won't take up for you. They may have moments where they may take up for you, but in general, they're going to be on the side of their relative, their family member. So get a community around you. Talk to your family, talk to your friends, talk to somebody. If you don't have that, go to a therapist and then talk about those things so the therapist can give you strength of, of yourself, your sense of independence. So that way you don't just stay silent. Okay, let's recap. What are the two things that keep you stuck or keep you attractive to the narcissist or narcissistic people? Having a lack of boundaries and being silent. We can change those things. We can work on boundaries. We can express boundaries. We can enforce our boundaries. We can stop being silent by building a community around us, talking to people, being vocal about the things that we're experiencing in the relationship until we gain the strength to leave. But whatever you do, if you want to get out of the relationship, you have to start doing those two things. You have to start setting boundaries and you have to start speaking up. Thank you so much for watching this video. Hopefully this was helpful to you. I have more topics coming out soon about narcissistic abuse and just relationships in general. I talk about this topic because it's something I experienced, and I also know other people who have experienced narcissistic abuse, and I really want to get the word out to other people about the types of abuse, emotional, verbal, and things that you can experience in a relationship, in hopes that we can save people and give people better dating experiences. So again, love you guys. If you have any topics that you want me to cover, please put it in the comment section below. I'm happy to tackle topics for you. Have a great one. God bless you. Bye.